Still with the music, man. You got somewhere I can just go ahead and introduce it with a slow vibe on it, man. Just play the music in the background. Well, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, what you were listening to was Janelle Gray handle this soundtrack, CD.
Yes.
CD. How you doing?
I'm good. Hi,
Yeah.
Daddy.
Hey. You can just call me Commish like everyone else. But how have you been? You didn't expect to be the radio guest today.
Really did not.
You did not. It was a surprise for
It
you.
was a surprise for all of us.
I
Yes.
know, it was a
Yes.
surprise. It was a surprise indeed. You speak so well of people, so I wanted to make sure that we give you an opportunity, obviously, to speak about your career and also about you. So what we're going to go ahead and do is for the next couple of minutes or so, we're going to go ahead and talk about what you're doing.
Okay.
I've known you for a little while.
A little bit of time. Yeah, we go back a little ways.
Yeah, your family's good friends with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your mom doing?
Great.
Okay.
Great,
For
great.
those of you who don't know, your mom is a quite accomplished actress
She is
and
indeed.
singer. It is. Could you tell everybody who your mom is?
My mother is Denise Lee.
Denise Lee, local.
Local actress, singer extraordinaire.
And she's done several plays and things.
A billion.
A billion?
And 13.
A billion
No,
and
a lot.
13? A lot.
She's done quite a bit.
So do you sing as well? Obviously.
Yes, I do sing, but I prefer to write.
You prefer to write?
Yeah.
So tell us about the singing part, then we'll go ahead and talk about the writing.
Well, the singing part was just on a whim. Like, I guess it's been 8 years now. I released that in 2010.
So we can remarket this and say this is the 10 years?
Yeah.
It's about marketing.
Marketing
It's about
is
marketing.
important. It is important. I only released it because I wrote the song. So I figure people aren't going to hear what you write unless you sing it yourself. So
So you wrote all of your songs?
I wrote all the songs, yeah.
Any
all
help
the
with
lyrics.
any of them?
No.
So what's your inspiration in writing?
Okay, so, well, that depends.
For the song?
For the songs, I would hear a song and I see a video. And so I basically just write what I see. So I get a lot of people who are like, oh, so like, was this about you? Sometimes it is personal, but a lot of times I'm like, no, it's just what I saw in the music. Yeah, that's what showed in the music. So I write what I see in the video that's in my head.
Now, the video that you did, I saw that being recorded.
Yes.
And it was a nice night.
Yes.
You didn't put your father in the video.
I'm really.
I'm hurt.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I'm okay.
You gonna be all right?
Let me have my moment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow.
I'm back.
Wow, somebody's trying to be an actor.
I did.
You're right. You are. You are an actor. You're right.
Thank you. That classic
Yes.
Texas Voodoo Zombies. So you can pick that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, in the video, you had your sisters in it.
I did.
Now, how'd you get your sisters in that video?
It was really easy. I said, y'all want to be in a video?
Yeah, they were game for it. Okay. What's the name of the video?
Well, the song is Detective. The song is
Okay.
Detective. Shout out to my friend Keith. He's the one who shot the video.
Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to play that song. We're going to put it on Facebook Live so everyone will be able to see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that on right there beneath all those comments that we're getting.
You'll put it in there?
Yeah, we're going to put that in there. So we're going to go ahead and put that in there. Do we have that song, Incidentally Struck, on there? So we're going to play that one too.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, we're going to play that one. Now, you obviously you act because, well, you was in the video. You act.
Yeah.
And you've acted on stage as well?
Yes. One show.
One
show. Yes.
One show?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors?
One show.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gonna
I
do
wouldn't
that
call
again?
myself an actor. No.
I wouldn't call myself one neither, but I got a credit.
You know what? That's important. Yes,
Yeah,
you do have a credit.
I need to be credited. I have one. Primarily known as a cheap preacher. I like primarily known. It's like I'm De Niro or something like that. Primarily known. You know, Al Pacino, primarily known for The Godfather. Yeah, Ed Gray, primarily known for Texas Voodoo
Ooh, God bless
Zombies.
you.
But hey, the writing that you do, you've written how many books?
3.5 Really?
3.5?
I say 3.5.
Why you say 3.5?
The other one, Unity, is basically a collection of articles from the blog. And so the blog I write, but I primarily edit. And so I accept articles from everybody. So that particular book, while I had like 1 or 2 articles that I put in there, a lot of it was from other people who had contributed over the years, or over the year rather. It was a year look back.
Good. So what are the names of some of your books? What are the names of your books?
Yes. The first one is a collection of poetry from, I guess, the time I was 11 to like 28. That's called Mosaic, Pieces in Poetry. And then the next one was Echoes of the Struggle. So that's my first novel, and that's the one that I really pushed the most. That's the one that I've done, I think, the most work on. And then it has a secondary, like a study guide. I call it a tour guide since it's based on the civil rights tour. And so that's the Echoes of the Struggle tour guide. And then Unity is the blog collection. So,
what was your inspiration on Echoes of the Struggle?
Echoes of the Struggle was, it was born out of the civil rights tour that you and I took together with SMU. And so during that tour, I wrote a journal every day of my experience and what I learned. And a lot of people followed that journal on Facebook when I had posted it. And they said, oh, you should put it out. But I thought, well, it's just like 10 pages, so I didn't want to do that. And so I created a story, a fiction story around that experience. So the main character, Daniela, while she is very similar to me because it has to kind of sound like the voice is hers with the journal, she's not me, but yeah, it's just a fiction story.
What's her name, her full name? Because, you know, you and Spike Lee, you're trying to do stuff like that, putting people's real stuff in there.
Her name is Daniela Chantal Joseph.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right. And that's a good book. Now, I read the book.
Yeah.
How can they get the book?
They can find me online at www.echoesofthestruggle.com. That's where the blog is, and that's where all the books are as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
The blog.
Yes.
Now, I did a blog, Ed Gray 4.
You did?
Right, I did that before. I did a blog, it was video blog, and I put videos with the story as well. What's your inspiration with the blog? Why?
The blog happened because right when I released Echoes, a lot of people sent me a lot of private messages, and they were asking questions, and there were a lot of themes that I brought up in the book that they either had more questions about or they had opinions about. And so I decided to do the blog to give other people a platform to share their experiences. So I'm all about experiences. So I enjoy getting the experience. I don't understand the LGBTQ experience. I don't understand the Latina experience. So I enjoy getting that from, articles from Indigenous people, articles, about, I have a couple of friends from Australia that have sent in some articles too, and it's interesting to hear their takes on racism and discrimination and their experiences being in other countries and how similar it still is to the U.S. So that was the point, was to give that a platform.
So you wrote this blog, you started this blog,
Yeah.
Where were you writing it at?
In Colombia. I was in Colombia when I started.
Okay. Say it again.
Colombia.
Okay.
Because Colombia
Is
here. Colombia is the country.
I can't pronounce it.
Sure you can.
No, I can't. I can't. So you speak Spanish?
Yes.
Okay. So how many languages you speak?
Just 2.
Just 2?
Yeah.
Tell me about your experiences in Colombia. You got me.
Now you're like really self-conscious.
I don't want to mess up in front of people.
Colombia,
Yeah.
Yeah.
In South America, I can
And
say
there,
that.
yeah.
Okay.
That works too.
Yeah,
that
it
works
very
too.
well.
That works too. What do you mean, like specifically?
Yeah, what it was, I don't want to because I already know the answers.
That's true.
But they don't know the
That's
answers.
true. That's
so
true.
I'm just
That's
trying
true.
to keep them engaged.
Yeah. I mean, my experience was great. I miss it very much and want to go back very often. But you know, I think
But you all in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Who's doing that?
You're totally
live
fine.
radio is
Totally
like-
fine.
yeah,
Totally
yeah.
fine. It's great. Just act like it didn't happen.
Right.
No. So in Colombia, the thing is that I think a lot of people have this view of Colombia about, you know, it's a third world country, which
Drug cartel?
right, you know. What was your thought when I first told you I was
Oh, well,
moving?
first of all, you just said that, hey, you had a job in corporate America, and then you just, hey, Daddy, I'm thinking about going to Colombia. And I said, well, you know, South Carolina's great. No, you said South America instead of South Carolina. I said, oh, well, that'd be even greater, you know. So you have to have some place to practice your Spanish, but you went down there to teach people English.
Yes. Primarily, my goal was just to be a writer full time. That was my thought. When I left, I wanted to get out of corporate. I wasn't particularly happy, and so I'm always a proponent of finding a way to make yourself happy.
Me too.
Very stressed out, and just not digging life at the time. So I decided to find a way, and for me, writing has always been fun. Writing has always been my release. So I was like, I'm gonna go and write a book. I'm gonna go for about 8 months and live there for about 8 months and be a professional writer, because I had the idea for Echoes before. I had the idea for Echoes back in 2012. So when I left, that's what I was going to write. I didn't do that for about 8 months, but
Well, you was
I was there for 8 months. I
And
didn't
you
do
didn't even write?
not anything. I mean, I did things,
I
but I did not
got
write.
it. And you got up in the morning. You said to get ready to have coffee.
Yeah, I had coffee, and then
Colombian coffee.
Yes, Colombian coffee is my thing.
Is the Colombian coffee that I normally buy at the stores here? Is it the same?
It is. I have a very big love-hate with the idea of Colombian coffee here, because what I learned is in Colombia they actually export the good stuff, which I think is really stupid, because I feel like you're in Colombia, like
So-
drink your own stuff.
So they
drink
have
the good stuff.
knockoff Colombian coffee
In Colombia, it's not knockoff. It's all
That ain't
it's all
top shelf.
good. It's just not the best. So like I have gone picking coffee beans, and I've actually made coffee before. So I went and picked the cherries, and you do all this thing to like peel. This is really extensive, but you do this, and then
Now you
they're
mean to
good.
tell me you left here to go to South America to pick coffee beans?
I mean, I didn't leave here to do that. I left here
You see how your
and
kids do
did
you?
that.
And then you didn't have a job down there?
I did
for
not
8
have a
months?
job for 8 months.
Standard of living must be really well.
No, it was good, you know, because the money that I saved here lasted me for the first year that I was there.
Really?
Yeah. And it was not a lot of money at all.
Huh.
But I did all right. It was like $7,000 when I left, and it lasted me an entire year there without a job.
You did real well.
I did pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you started writing.
Yeah, I did. I started
Finally, after 8 months.
after 8 months after I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be moving back, but
That
I'm
sounds
not
like
going
me,
to.
You know, the plan that I had where Michael Williams, formerly of the Detroit Pistons, challenged me to lose weight and everything. And I started, working out.
Mhm.
So last week, I went to the gym 6 times. Next week, I'll actually get out of the car.
I didn't think that was a thing that you did.
No,
Yeah.
I went to the gym.
You
said
passed
go to
by
the
it?
gym.
You passed
I
by it.
pulled up in the parking lot.
Oh, well, at least you pulled in the parking lot.
I
That's
did.
more than I expected.
I did. I had my sweats on.
Good job,
ready.
Daddy. Good job, Daddy.
Well, I was ready. Ready. And next week, I'm going to actually get out the car.
Good job.
So now I know where you got the part about 8 months.
Yeah.
Say I'm gonna start writing.
One of these times. One of
Yeah.
these times.
So that's where you finished it?
Yep.
You started there?
I did, and it took me about 6 months to write it and 6 months to edit.
All right.
Yeah.
And you met a lot of cool people?
I met a lot of cool people.
Yeah. You want to give a shout out? Mandich. Let's give a shout out.
Yo, look at you pulling names.
Yeah.
Mandich will be very
Mandich.
excited.
Yeah, I know that. Glenn Taggart.
She's a jewelry designer and fashion artist.
Where's she from?
And she's from Australia, but she's Indian Australian. So she lives in India now, but she's from Australia.
Okay.
So I will tell her you gave her a shout out.
You got fans in Australia, India, that type of thing.
Yep.
Because
Jen and
show.
Dwight and Pilou, all of my friends, I heart them very much. Marcela.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
All over the world. Nobody's on the same continent, I don't think.
So what's next for you?
I am moving to Boston.
What?
To Boston. Why are you looking at me like you don't know this?
I don't know this.
I'm moving to Boston for 8 months, but you know I usually say 8 months.
Boston in South America, because the last time you moved somewhere was in South America. You said
No,
Columbia,
I'm moving to
South
Boston,
Carolina.
Massachusetts for just
Okay, because I was thinking you
for
said
the
Boston.
semester.
I'm thinking about New Boston, Texas.
No.
So it's actually Boston, Massachusetts.
Yes.
All right, it's good. They kind of like speak the same language we
They
speak. in
do.
Texas.
They do.
So that being said, what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to play some of your music. I think Strip got us queued up for something. What we got, Strip?
This is Detective.
Oh, speak of detective. All
Yeah.
right, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and wind it in, and let's go ahead and roll with it. All right.